So you might have heard from somewhere that the real estate market is going to crash or that it's going to drop by 20-30% in the next few months, and you might be just deciding to cash out. Well, in my opinion, I don't really think the real estate market is going to dip by that much really at all, but we'll see what happens. I could be totally wrong here, just my opinion. But whether you are looking to sell for purposes of cashing out, or it's just time to downsize, or you're moving to another state, whatever it is, guys, if you're looking to sell, today in this video, I'm going to be giving you my entire listing process so you know what to expect when selling your home here in South Louisiana. Hey guys, if this is your first time to this channel and you want to know anything and everything about real estate in South Louisiana, whether that be investing in real estate, selling a home in South Louisiana, or maybe you're relocating here from Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, wherever you're coming from, we're happy to help you with a smooth move. But guys, just so you know, my name's Carson. My girlfriend Natalie and I are real estate agents here in Madisonville, Louisiana, and we love helping people every day just like you with investing, buying, and selling real estate in South Louisiana. Now, with that being said, let's get right into the video. So you're in South Louisiana in one of these parishes like St. Tammany, Orleans, Jefferson, Livingston, East Baton Rouge. If you're around Lake Pontchartrain or over on the Baton Rouge side of things and you're ready to sell, let's start with the very first thing we're going to do. So a lot of agents will run numbers over the phone and give you a guesstimate as to what your home is worth. And by the way, side note, the Zestimate on Zillow is 90% wrong. It's most of the time wrong by $20, $30, $40,000 a lot of times. So don't trust that. And I wouldn't even trust myself running numbers if I can't see the house in person first. So I can give you a little idea if you really want to know, but when I really run my numbers is when I'm at the house. I want to know the condition of the house. I want to give you actually accurate numbers because I can compare pictures of other homes that have sold. So let's talk about how I actually determine the value of your house. Basically, it's as simple as finding what is the most similar house that sold nearby in the last 3 months. That's pretty much what I'm looking for. And to gauge that, what we do is we want the same bed and bath count plus or minus 1. So if you're a 3-2, I would want to see a 4-2 or a 4-1 or a 2-3 or a 2-2. I would want to be plus or minus 1 for the bed and bath count. Next, I would want to see a house that's sold that is within a 500 square foot difference of your home. I would then look at the age. How old is your home? My comp needs to be 10 years or less older or younger. So if your house was 40 years old, I wouldn't compare a house to your house that's 80 years old because that's different, okay? So if your house is 40 years old, I would compare it to a house that's 50 years old, and I would compare it to a house that's 30 years old. So it's within a 10-year plus or minus range. Next, I'm going to be looking at lot size, okay? So if you've got a 10,000 square foot lot, I'm going to want to be about a 2,500 square foot, give or take. So I'll compare your property to a house that has a 12,500 square foot lot or a property that has a 7,500 square foot lot, but I really don't like to go above or below those numbers. So as long as we didn't leave the subdivision here and we are in the same subdivision that your house is in, and this comparable house sold in the last 90 days and it's got all these comparable metrics, it's safe to say that your home could sell for the price that that one sold for, okay? We're basically just finding proof in the pudding. You know, there's a home that sold that's almost identical to yours 2 months ago for X price. Well, you could probably get X price, probably. Here's the kicker. Another thing I like to look at is condition, like I've already mentioned, and days on market. So if that home that sold for $500,000 took 300 days to sell, believe it or not, that's actually not the best comp. Do you want to wait 300 days for your home to sell? Now, keep in mind, the real estate market changes a lot in 300 days, a lot. So, you know, you really, if you're waiting that long anyways, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe the market does crash. So what I really like to do is find a comp that sold quickly. If I find a comp that sold for 14 days as opposed to 70 days, it's probably better to go with the price of the one that sold for 14 days, unless what you really care about is not time, but money, and you would rather wait a little longer for your top dollar. Now, we've got to be careful here, right? Because I think the real estate market is going to dip by a fraction. I don't think it's going to be, dropping by 20%. I don't think the real estate market's crashing, but if we see a home that sold for 70 days, it sold in 70 days for $500,000, well, we don't really want to be waiting 70 days because we don't really know what's going to happen. So we might want to list for the price that sold for 14 days, for instance. But again, this is all going to be completely up to you. My job is to advise you and then do what you want me to do with your house. So next thing, so since I'm at your house, right, I'm going to be looking around. I'm going to kind of gauge the condition of your house versus other homes that have sold. And I'm also going to be educating you on things like, should you paint the walls? Should you get new floors? Maybe you do have money for that set aside. Maybe you don't. There's also the idea of getting a home equity line of credit. Okay, if you got some equity in your home, you might want to take out a line of credit, fix up the floors, fix up the paint if it's needed, because a lot of times, guys, for things like minor repairs, you can actually double what you spend. So if you spend $3,000 on paint, you might be adding $6,000 to the value of your home. So it's a pretty good investment. A lot of times sellers need a new roof before they sell. A lot of times they need new AC units before they sell. Most of the time, they don't actually need them. You can sell them without those repairs. However, if you want to get top dollar, if you want your home to sell quickly with the least amount of hassle, those things are advised a lot of the time, but not all of the time, right? Sometimes you can't afford it or it's not completely necessary. If your roof was repaired 2 years ago or replaced 2 years ago, you don't need a new roof unless a tree fell on it, right? So my job here is to use my best judgment and educate you, give you my advice on what I think you should do. A lot of times it's really just as simple as painting the walls if you can afford it. You do need to declutter. There's no excuse not to declutter. Get all the pictures of you and your family off of your wall. You want a buyer to walk in and not see your family, but imagine their own family in your house, right? You want to kind of depersonalize it, as sad as that sounds. You've got to take the pictures off the wall. I would recommend hiring a professional cleaner after our first initial meetup. I would hire a professional cleaner and just make sure that your house is in tip-top shape. But once I come meet you anyways at your house and I look at the condition, give you your comparables, what I would advise you at least to list for, once we figure all that out and you get the cleaning done, we're gonna send some people over to take pictures. I pay for pictures. That is not an expense on you. I cover that for all of my clients, and these are professional pictures. You can look at some of my listings on my website to see kind of what the quality of those pictures are. So I pay for that. We're gonna get the pictures taken. I'm gonna put a sign in your yard so that people driving by, the neighbors or whatever, can see the sign, see that your home is for sale, and people will start talking. And I'll usually get pictures back in a couple days, max. Like sometimes I'll get them back in 24 hours. So as soon as I get pictures back, I'm going to use those pictures when I upload your listing to the multiple listing service. Now, the importance of using the multiple listing service is, guess what? I can market your house, and I'm going to tell you how I can market it, but the multiple listing service is great because I'm actually marketing to thousands of agents in your area, okay? If I list your home in Baton Rouge, there's hundreds, probably thousands of agents in Baton Rouge that will see that listing pop up, and guess what they've got? Clients who want to buy your house. So that's why the multiple listing service is a great way to market. It's not the only and maybe not even the best way to market, but it's definitely necessary if you want to get top dollar. It's a numbers game. If 3,000 people see your house, you're going to get less money than if you got 100,000 people to see your house. So keep that in mind. So our MLS listing is up and running, and now all the agents can see your house. And if they've got clients, they're ready to show their clients your house. and they're gonna start showing the house, okay? We're gonna put a lockbox on the house so that the agents can come through, with your permission, of course. They can come through, get into the house and show their clients around. And just so you know, it takes about 9 showings right now on average for a pending sale. So it's gonna take you 9 showings, 9 agents showing 9 buyers, clients, your house before we get a contract. That is average. It could be 1 showing, it could be 24 showings, you know? It all depends on all of these variables, but if the price is right, if you get anything from this video, price is the most important. Location matters, it definitely does. Condition matters, age matters, you know, square footage, bed and bath count, all this stuff matters, right? But price trumps everything. Any house in the entire world will sell at the right price, okay? So price is what matters most. So anyways, we've got the MLS listing up. What else am I gonna do to market your property? Well, luckily, as you know, you're watching this video, I've got a YouTube channel, and guess what I get to do? I get to film your house, if you allow me, and I get to put it on places like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'll put it anywhere and everywhere that you allow me to do so. And guys, you want to know what the best part about this is? I told you that I pay for pictures for my clients. Guess what I also pay for? I also pay to run ads behind these videos. I want you to check out this video right here. This is actually one of my lender's homes that she is selling in Folsom. Check that video out after this one, but just to give you an idea of kind of what a listing video looks like, when I do it for you, you'll notice it has 5,500 views. Now, these 5,500 views were not all organic. You know how much it cost me to get those 5,500 views? About $170. So really what I do is, what I gauge is every $100 that you spend, you'll get 3,000 views. So what I like to see is anywhere between 5 and 10,000 views. That'll get us a good amount of leads coming in, a good amount of contacts where I can then follow up with them, see if they're interested in your house or not, and go from there. And honestly, if you ask most agents, they don't have a YouTube channel and they don't know the first thing about digital marketing. They don't know anything about Facebook ads, YouTube ads. They don't know about just making a listing video. They really just list your home on the MLS and that's the standard. You just wait for it to sell. But like I've already mentioned, would you rather 3,000 agents see your MLS listing, or would you rather 3,000 agents see your MLS listing plus 5 to 10,000 people in your local market that are actually looking to buy see your house as well? That's the power of digital marketing, my friends. So how long would I like for your home to sell for? Well, the average right now in St. Tammany Parish is 36 days. So I would want your home to sell depending on, you know, the price point, right? If you have an $800,000 house, that's going to take a little bit longer to sell, okay? The average home sells for 36 days on average in St. Tammany Parish. So we're gonna try and beat that, okay? We're gonna try and get 30 days or under. So imagine, you know, you list your home and in 4 weeks you expect that sucker to be gone, and we expect to have a 30-day closing. Now, obviously, I can't stress this enough, it varies, but what you would hope for, what you would look for is for your home to be listed in March and then sell in May, okay? You would want a 2-month period between the listing and the actual closing date. That means we're doing good if we can make that happen. So every week while your home is listed, I'm going to be giving you weekly updates. Okay, I'm gonna call you or I'm gonna text you or I'll send you a video message and I'll let you know what any updates I can give you are. So maybe there's none. Maybe we didn't get any showings. Maybe there wasn't an open house that we did for you. Maybe there's no offers, but I'll still call you and let you know just so you can stay informed. I don't like to leave people out of it. I don't just take over, you know, I don't want to stress you out too much, but I also want to keep you in the know. I want you to know what's going on with your home. So I'm going to give you weekly updates every week so you know what's going on. So now, once we get through 9 showings on average, really, it could be any amount. That's just the average. But once we get through these showings and once we get an actual offer on your house, one that you like and one that you want to accept, Well, now what? Okay, so if you've never actually sold a home before, maybe you've bought and you've never sold before, here's what happens after you go under contract. So first things first, the buyer's agent is going to go ahead and coordinate an inspection on the home. Usually, I mean, most times they're going to get an inspection. I always advise my buyer's clients to do so, because you would want a licensed professional in there telling you everything that's wrong with it, right? Well, so they're going to get an inspector in your home. They're going to write up an inspection report. It's usually about a 14-day window when the inspection period is, and that's when they'll send the inspector in. And then if there's any negotiating that needs to be done after the inspection, the agent will send me an inspection response, and I'll review that with you. And maybe it's, hey, we noticed that you need a new roof, so we're requesting $15,000 in a seller credit, or we want a price reduction, so on and so forth. I will, before we even list the house, I will tell you if I think that's coming. Now, some things I don't know, but I'll do my best to warn you of what kind of negotiations could go on after the inspection period, just so you're prepared. So anyways, we'll review that inspection response, and then we'll make our move. We could actually just reject, and the contract is void at that point, no sale anymore. Or we could accept, or we could counter back and say, hey, I'm not giving you 10, 15,000, but I'll give you 5,000, right? So, or I'll lower the price by 5,000. So we'll figure out what you want to do at this point. A lot of times there's not even a negotiation process after inspections. It's just smooth sailing. So once the inspection's done, the lender is going to send out an appraisal. They're going to appraise the property, see what it's actually worth. I believe I do a very good job of determining the value of the properties that I list. I actually use the rules that appraisers use themselves. So I can pretty much gauge accurately how much a home is actually worth. But anyways, the appraiser will come out and appraise the home, determine the value, and then next step after that, it's really just waiting for the clear to close from the lender, from the buyer's lender, and we're pretty much all good to go after that. It's been 30 days. We've done an inspection and an appraisal. We've negotiated a little bit. It's been ups and downs. It's been a roller coaster, but we made it. And we're at the closing table. You give the keys over, and guess what? A lot of agents give their clients a gift. I do that as well. But what I really like to do is I like to go out to eat, or I like to go have some coffee the next day, or maybe even that night sometimes with my clients, because I appreciate you guys for believing in me, for trusting in me. I think you guys are awesome, and really I'm in this for the relationships, not the transactions. Money's good, right? But what's better than money? Relationships. Relationships, I believe, are equivalent to your happiness level. The quality of your relationships is what I mean. I would rather gain a friend and lose a deal than do the deal and lose a friend, So that's really my philosophy. I value relationships over transactions 100% of the time. And really, I'm all about providing value. So I hope this video did provide some value for you, and you know exactly what to expect now when listing your home. I'm going to do a podcast soon on the full sales process from start to finish. I'll make it an hour or two long so you can go in depth with me, but from the outside, I guess this is kind of what to expect from start to finish. This is a summary of what that podcast will be. But guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this provided some value for you. And again, if you are ready to sell your home, whether it's in the next 9 days or the next 90 days, whenever that happens to be, all the contact info is in the description down below. You can give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, even schedule a Zoom call with us. Do what you want to do, and let's make it happen, guys. Love you guys, and have a great rest of your day, okay?